Solo show here on Fantasy Football Today in 5, recording on Tuesday night. You're listening on Wednesday morning. Let's talk trade and some of the latest injuries right now on FFT in 5. And I'm Adam Azer, usually joined by Dave Richard, but not this evening. So I hope I can entertain you for the next 5 minutes. Let's start with the Cleveland backfield and really a lot of injury news surrounding the Browns and the Broncos on Thursday night. So first of all, Nick Chubb is out. So that means D'Ernest Johnson gets a really big chance. Now, earlier on Tuesday, I set some waiver claims, some fab bids, and I went pretty light on D'Ernest Johnson. When I found out that Nick Chubb was out, I did up it a little bit, but I don't think I went to more than 20-25%. Now, this is a 14-team league with fab where I could really use the running back. I could really use the flex here. So I think he's got a decent chance at 10 to 12 PPR fantasy points, which is very useful. Now, the best case scenario is D'Ernest Johnson gets 20 carries and they have a good game script and he plays really well and he scores a couple times. All that's on the table because he should really dominate carries. I don't think Felton is a threat there. But my suspicion is it's a decent game. That's my projection for D'Ernest Johnson, a decent game. Hopefully he's able to score. And I am a little bit worried about them falling behind in this game with Baker Mayfield's health, with the health of their offensive tackles, with the fact that they're facing a pretty good defense. So it's not really a great setup for the Browns, but I think it'll be a pretty close game, and I think you'll get 12 to 15 carries and maybe a couple of catches from D'Ernest Johnson. If he scores, you're going to be really happy. If he doesn't, I think you'll have at least a flex in this Week 7 bye NATO. Do I trust Odell Beckham in this game? Not really, because I really don't trust Baker Mayfield. They're already talking about hoping that he can avoid season-ending surgery. So he insists he's going to play on Thursday. I guess I'll take him at his word, but how much is it going to take for Baker Mayfield to have to leave the game? So I don't really trust anyone on this team other than D'Ernest Johnson as a flex. On the other side, I love Courtland Sutton. The Browns have faced some great wide receivers, but they've given up almost 100 yards. They've given up 100 yards to a wide receiver almost every single week this year. Number ones have killed them. All those number ones are better than Courtland Sutton, but I don't see why he can't have 80 yards and a touchdown in this game. So he has become a must start. Other injuries to keep an eye on, Julio Jones is day to day. And this really matters for Ryan Tannehill because you might need to stream Ryan Tannehill this week against the Kansas City Chiefs. I know Taylor Heineke did not take advantage of the Kansas City Chiefs, but maybe Ryan Tannehill can if he has A.J. Brown and Julio Jones. So hopefully Julio can play this week. Teddy Bridgewater looks like he's going to play. Couple of offensive line injuries you need to know about. Ronnie Stanley, he's been hurt this year for the Ravens. They're the most injured team, and it doesn't matter. He's a great offensive tackle, but it just doesn't matter for their fantasy value. What does it mean for Devontae Freeman, all those guys? I don't think it means anything. They ran the ball well last week. They were facing arguably the worst run defense of football. This is still going to be Lamar Jackson's team. That's why I'm not all that excited about going to get Devontae Freeman. And I don't think the Ronnie Stanley injury matters for Lamar Jackson. Meanwhile, Andrew Thomas for the Giants, he's going on IR. Kadarius Toney is going to miss at least this 1 week. This is a big deal. They are going to roll out probably the worst pairs of offensive tackles or among the worst pair of offensive tackles in the NFL, and Nate Solder and Matt Pert. So it's going to be ugly like it was last week. Any DST facing the Giants is absolutely in play, and it's going to be tough to trust Devontae Booker in any matchup. Facing Carolina is not going to be easy. All right, so let's talk a little trade here going into Fantasy Week 7. And I feel like I say it every week. I had a feeling it wouldn't be a great week for him last week, and it wasn't, but I'm really excited about Keenan Allen. He's in his bye. He has been a top 10 PPR receiver, something like 4 straight years. He's always a top 10 PPR receiver. He may not be this year, but I think he'll end up as top 15. So I think there's really good production. Get Keenan Allen, especially if you can afford to put him on your bench during the bye. I found it pretty difficult to find buy low running backs. We seem to just not have that many good running backs right now, to be quite honest. So I think if you want to buy low running back, the best thing to do is pay up for Zeke or Cook or Eckler or one of these guys who are studs who are in their bye week. You find the manager who's 2-4 and really needs someone this week, and you give him a really good running back like a Joe Mixon or something like that, and you upgrade to an incredible running back. You get one of those top 6 elite running backs. You can throw Najee Harris in there as well. And you lose a little bit this week, but you gain. You also could look at a guy like David Montgomery. Obviously, you could look at Christian McCaffrey. I'm a little bit worried because it just doesn't seem to be getting any better for McCaffrey, but he's McCaffrey. So I don't have any I think we're going to debate Miles Sanders on the show tomorrow. I'm not really there on Miles Sanders. I don't trust the Eagles. So I'm looking at these guys who are on bye or hurt. And as far as sell highs go, We talked about Adam Thielen on our Tuesday night stream. Oh, I wanted to give one more buy low. We'll talk about sell highs tomorrow, but buy low, Terry McLaurin. He's got three, I would say 4 really disappointing games. Yeah, I'll say it. 4 crappy games, 10 or fewer PPR points in 4 of 6 games. Schedule was not incredible or anything like that, but it gets better. And Fitzpatrick is going to make him better. And Fitzpatrick's going to be their starting quarterback. So take a look at Terry McLaurin and see if you can buy low. That's it for me here on FFT in 5, or today about 5.5. Thanks so much. This was easy. Wow. Thanks so much for listening and watching, everybody. We will talk to you tomorrow with our favorite player prop for Thursday night.